Welcome to the next video in Under the Hood with the HP Latex R530. In today's video, we're going to cover printhead alignments. This machine is amazing. It has the ability to do an automatic printhead alignment, but if you really want to get the best image quality on this machine, it is strongly recommended that you do a manual alignment. If you just swap the printhead out and you just want to get quick going right away, it will launch into an automatic alignment. It'll prompt you, ask you to go through that process. But in my opinion, it's worth taking the extra couple minutes and doing a manual alignment because the quality of, especially with your white ink, the colors lining up in there, is so much better when you go through the manual alignment process. So I'm going to start this process off. I have a piece of polystyrene, 48 inches wide, 24 inches long. It is recommended for doing alignments to do it on a sheet fed method rather than roll fed. The reason being is I want that printhead carriage to touch off to a thickness of material. You can use a 9mm poster paper, any type of substrate that's going to lay flat in your machine works out really well. I found that polystyrene works really good. PVC is nice, but it can have a little rougher texture, harder to read the very fine detailed lines. But let's rock through there. So I got my sheet loaded in here, but I don't want to use a polystyrene profile. I'm just doing an alignment test plot. I don't really need this ink to cure at all. So what I'm going to do is create a profile specifically for doing an alignment test. So from there, I'm going to go to my substrate library and I'm going to pick my generic plastic solid profile and I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to call this profile alignment so that I know that I don't use this for actually any print, because what I'm going to do to this profile is basically eliminate all of the curing in the process. I'm going to drop my temperatures down as low as possible. I just want ink on paper, and then I need to be able to read exactly where that alignment chart fell. All right, so now I've got my profile cloned, renamed as alignment. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these other print modes that I won't be using. I really just need my 12 past 90, so there's no point in keeping all of my white underflood, white overflood print modes available to me. So it just takes a minute to delete each one of those print modes, and then we're going to do an edit of our 12 past 90 print mode. All right, all my unnecessary print modes are out of there. Let's hit this pen icon and let's edit the 12 past 90 print mode. And so my curing temp, here's where I'm going to take that curing temp all the way down to its lowest setting of 122 degrees. I'll keep my optimizer level in the mid-range and keep my overcoat. Actually, I'm going to turn this down to 0.05 just for fun. Less fluid going on in the paper. Hit save from here. So now I had loaded this original sheet as a generic self-adhesive. I need to now change that substrate to my alignment profile. I don't need to unload it, physically take it out of the machine to make that happen. All I have to do is hit my substrate here and then change my substrate type. So this was a plastic solid profile, and there it is, alignment is what I called it. I hit apply, and now the machine thinks it's been set up differently. I'm going to go into printheads. I'm going to go to the 3-dot icon in the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to hit align, and here's where I switch from automatic to manual. We're going to go ahead and hit manual adjustment. Here's where I'll make all of my adjustments eventually, but I need to print my alignment plot first. So one thing to note, since I did turn off all the heat, this ink is probably not going to be cured on my media. I want to pull this bar into the up position so that this roller bar doesn't come into contact with the wet ink coming off my paper. All right, so now I got my print plot set up here for my alignment. Real important again, wet ink, probably not dry. You want to avoid smudging it too much. Highly recommended, get some glasses because this alignment plot is a little challenging to read, especially at my age. But over here on the right, we have kind of the legend of explaining where my print heads are, and then this is what corrections are needed based on the line patterns that I'm seeing. So if you identify the errors, here's how off it should be set. Up here, it's showing the distance and what number you should acquire to that. So my print heads are fairly aligned. I've done this process a couple times, but basically I'm going to go over each segment one at a time. I have an A1, A2, A3, and I'm going to look for any deviation between those lines. My A1, A2 looks great. My B B1 looks fine, my B2 looks fine. You can see here on my B3, there's a slight deviation of that top line from the bottom line. And so then again, go back up to my legend, and which one does it correspond with most likely? I'm about in a 2 category here, and so my B3 adjustment, I'm gonna put down a 2. Now I'm gonna keep moving on down the line. My C1 looks like that top line is a little bit to the right, which would put me in maybe a 1 category for C1. Make that adjustment note right on there. C2 looks okay, C3 looks okay. Keep on going down the line over my entire process, making adjustments as needed. I'm then gonna take those adjustments and enter them into the values that are up on my screen. So let's just enter in our B3 and C1 adjustment. So my B3 needs to be a -2, and my C1 needs to be a +1. So once I hit apply, say I went through that entire list and entered all my values through there, those adjustments are put into my machine. What's recommended on this manual process is then do that exact same thing a second time and verify that, hey, the ones you corrected the first time are now corrected, everything's looking good. Typically maybe 2-3 times of going through this alignment process is really gonna dial in your alignment and give you amazing print on there. I challenge anybody out there that is a fan of the automatic alignment, go ahead and go through this manual process and you're gonna impress yourself by how much crisper your text is, sharp lines. The automatic process happens good, but man, that manual process is really nice, especially when it comes to the white ink layer in there as well, getting it to line up just perfectly with your color layer. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please check out all the other videos in our series of Under the Hood with the HP Latex R530. Thanks for watching.